Hey guys, Justin Williams here, day three at Sigma 3 here, out with Josh Hamlin and Jeremy today looking for bow staves. And so they're back there looking for something, and what they're looking for is a nice hickory tree, and it can be any of the hickories that has very minimal knots or limbs coming off of it, and they're looking for a 7-foot section that's straight. At least that's what you're going for. It could have a slight bow to it, and then you're looking for something that's a little bit thicker than your, about just around wrist size to the circumference of your hand being opened up a little bit. So we're going to see if we can get on a nice hickory stave or hickory tree that we can begin to make a stave out of, and look at getting a bow. So yeah, that's a nice tree, man. That's plenty straight. Very little branches. I'm riding its timber path, so I better move. Oh, nope. Went the other way.
We had a little help.
Yeah.
And don't worry about it.
I can take it off way up here, couldn't I?
You could, but you won't.
I don't need it, do I?
There's a knot right here. I would cut right. I would cut right there.
Okay. Now you could
probably get another one out of there. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was gonna ask if we get 2 out of it.
You might be able to get 2 out of this piece if you could split it, but it'd be hard to split.
Anyway.
I just mean from one on.
Oh, I see. You gonna hold it up? Timber! It was sensitive enough to probably smash I wasn't gonna have no more what kind of bird?
Turkey's the only one you can really legally use.
I was thinking about a turkey badger.
So after we cut it, we remove all the bark and the cambia layer.
Cambium.
Cambium.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy, it's gonna be a good, long process. It's already starting to. No, okay, good. I'm wanting to save the salvage's bottom part. Gotta get a better baton.
I'll call Robert.
Oh, timber!
Nice. See, that's 2 perfectly. That's 2 bows right there.
Cool. So instead of debarking the whole thing, we decided to go ahead and split it right down the middle, and that way it leaves less to have to trim off, and a little bit idea. I think I'm going to be able to see the cambium layer a little bit better too from the sides since we split it. So I'm not going to have to worry about going as deep and damaging the bow. So I think that's definitely got its benefit. So we'll get to work. Now the hard part begins.
Imagine doing this with stone tools.
They did it though.
They did it.
First bow I ever made was with stone tools.
Was it? How long did that take you?
About a week.
Cut. That.
Okay. Okay. Filling my bowl, shaving it down, spending some time out in the cold. If I don't get my bowl made, I'm gonna go hungry. I got a little bit more debarking to do, but before we get too carried away, we're going to go ahead and make our markings, right, Josh?
Yep.
So talk me through this next process.
So first, the bow, we got to determine its height, which is going to be your height. So if you stand next to the bow,
Okay.
I can mark it right there.
Okay.
Now we need to find the center line of the bow. For that we need the tape measure. Got this.
Which one you want me to take?
None for now.
Okay.
Let's figure out how wide it is. That's pretty much exactly 3 inches wide right there. So we'll mark it at 1.5.
We want to find a 1.5 center from the straightest side we got, or is it not
From
gonna
both
work?
sides. The tips have to be in line
So we gotta.
to have an accurate shooting bow. Now, if you'll hold this
Okay.
and put it in the center right on that mark.
You want it directly over the center, or do you want me to line up this one side with it?
Line up one side with it so we can make a line down the bow.
Yeah. All right, I'm good.
We'll just roughing out a quick line. So let's measure this length. Okay, put that back on there.
Put that down there. Okay.
Now, that is pretty much exactly at 6 foot. So at 3 foot, we'll mark a mark.
Okay, so 6 foot long, we're gonna take 3 feet and mark. Okay.
That's your center line. Mark both sides.
That's the center of the bow.
Then from that, come 2 inches this way and mark across. And then 2 inches on this side. That's your handle of your bow.
Okay.
Now 3 inches.
From that last mark or from the center?
From the last mark, make another mark.
And that's where it begins to taper?
That's the taper.
What about that knot right there? Is that going to be okay, or should we?
That's in the handle, it'll be fine.
Okay. All right. And that's pretty much the measurement and the markings for it.
Right.
Then,
Now, we want generally the top of the bow to be about 1 inch wide. So,
center.
about 1/2 inch on each side of that line.
And we're going to taper down to that.
Yep. And then on this side, it's generally about 2 inches wide.
Birds. Okay. So you're going 1 inch to 1 inch, right? This is at 2 inches wide at the handle.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a little bit too wide, probably more like 1.5 inches at the handle, but it's a good start. Then you can do, then it's all by eyeball. Once you get a basic layout, then you can do it by eyeball. And that's personal preference, however wide you want it there.
Basing the handle thickness off your size of your hand, right?
Now we
Alright.
can,
And so,
that
how,
just gives you an idea.
as far as the
of what
end
we're
goes, how thick are we wanting the wood to be?
About 3/4 of an inch to start with. So even though all this is up here, it's really going to be down here. something like that.
Okay, so you want 3/4 of an inch thick bow at the taper, and then a little bit thicker all the way up to the handle.
The same
All the way down
thickness
until the taper mark.
to the taper mark.
Okay.
Cool. Remove all your wood from this taper line down.
So this tape from the handle or this taper line?
From the handle, this is where all your taper will be. And then this will all be the same thickness from this line
Okay, so
on.
this isn't the taper, this is the taper.
Right. And that's a real common mistake is people start their taper out here.
Yeah, and then this, by the point you get to this, you should have the stave then, right? Or the limb, is that what that would be called, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from there, you should be tapered all the way out to the length and the width of your limb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, sweet.
And that's basically just a real rough.
So Josh, so once we get our bow shaped, the handle shaped, and it's pretty much how we want it to be. Walk me through the drying process, please.
All right. Well, basically what we're going to do is we're going to tie this to a straight tree. And we're going to tie it
We're going to tie it belly to the tree.
belly to the tree.
Okay.
We can tie it either way.
Okay.
We can tie it back to the tree or belly to the tree. I generally do it belly to the tree, and we'd use a lot straighter tree than this, like this tree here.
And you do that after you've rough shaped it?
Yes, after it's shaped. Now what I like to do, I tie it at the handle really tight,
Okay.
and then I stick a chunk of wood under these edges and then tie them to give it recurve.
Yeah.
So like you have a natural knot right there.
Yeah, that would work as a recurve.
You wouldn't even have to put a chunk of wood or whatever
Yep.
there, huh? How long does that chunk of wood need to be?
Just big enough to toss the wood out.
Just looking for a block taper in the out, so for the recurve.
Yep,
Oh, okay, so the thickness of the...
The block will determine the amount of recurve.
exactly. But since hickory takes set, that recurve's going to disappear, unfortunately. But at least you won't have a two set bow.
Okay.
If you have recurve in it before it takes set, then it will set pretty nice.
How long do we have to finish the roughing out process before our bow starts drying out on us and we're crap out of luck?
You want to get it done in a day if possible, maybe 2 days. Otherwise, you risk it cracking. If you can't get it done, then you need to make some precaution to stop it from drying,
Like put it in water.
or put it under a pile of leaves or something.
Okay.
Wet leaves.
Pretty much got my bow debarked. I got a little bit more to get through the cambium layer. And what you're looking for is that more yellowish look. You're trying to get away from it almost becomes like a pinkish reddish brown. And you're wanting to get through that layer, and then after that you can begin shaping it. So probably all I'm going to shoot video wise out here on this. I may get one little last segment of my process, but after that, strap it to a tree when it's warm or inside to a post of some type. Let it dry for about a week. Take it off, begin tillering it and fine tuning it and developing your handle, and then you get to decide what type of bowstring you want to use. So thinking about maybe putting a little sinew backing on this and seeing what comes from it. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll keep you guys posted with updates from it. A lot of things when it comes to bow making or ember bowl burning, you can learn all you want by watching it, but until you get out there and actually try it, you're not going to get the full benefit. So I encourage you guys to get out there, find you a good hickory tree, and split it and get to work and start shaping your personal bow. And there's nothing like it. You'll treasure it longer than you ever would any other bow, and so definitely be sure to do that. So, well, day 3 is under wrap of Sigma 3 Survival School. Had another hard day, and like I said, you can never discredit how hard working out in the bush is 24/7, day in, day out. And just been doing it 3 days, and pretty wore out. So I know took a lot from this weekend. Finished up roughing out my Quickie Bow, and there's a lot more to it than just carving it out. Just a few pointers. You want it about the same height as you. I'm about 5'11". We went ahead and made it 6 foot for measurements. You find the center of the wood, mark it all the way down. Then you're going to cut your 6 foot length, find the middle of the bow, which would be exactly 3 feet on each side. The measurements on that, you go up 2 inches on each side for your handle, and you put a mark. And then from there, you go up 3 inches and put another mark for your tapering. And you do that on both sides. And then you rough it out. Depending on how thick you want your bow and how much poundage you're wanting to pull, you're looking at 3/4 to an inch thick. And then you just measure that from the side with center. So there's quite a bit to it. But now it's time to dry it out, so I will strap it up to a straight beam or a tree or something something out of the weather, and she should dry really well, and then I'll look at finishing it out, and looking forward to shooting it, guys. A lot of hard work. It's kind of cool. First Sigma 3 bow that I made while I was out here, and I'm pretty proud of it. I guess I'll be honest, I don't want to leave. I'm not ready to go home. I miss my family, my wife, and my kids, but I don't miss the rat race of life. And so I'm not real anxious to get back home to it, but that's life for you. But yeah, day 3 has been a good day. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for April to get here. And I learned a lot just in the 3 days of things that I need to improve on. I need to improve on my knife sharpening skills. I need to improve on some of my body conditioning. I think I held up great for 3 days, and I feel great today. But I have a feeling 45 days are going to weigh on me. I got a lot of insight as to the gear that I'm going to need. And so, yeah, it was a great opportunity to come out here this weekend and hang out with Jeremy and Rob and Josh and even Brad, getting to know him. Great young man. And so just like I said, you'll never know what you're missing until you actually get out here and experience it. So guys, I want to challenge you, encourage you, whether you're interested in Sigma 3 survival or any of the other schools out there, you know, if it's important to you, make it a priority. And I'm pretty positive that you'll be grateful you did. So once again, this is Justin Williams, Dirt Time Adventures. And as always, I want to encourage you guys, keep it practical, primitive, and prepared.